We want to bring in now a former federal prosecutor, Joe Moreno, joining us. Listen, Joe, there's so many ways we could go in this conversation, but I want to kick it off by getting you to listen to one of your colleagues, Jonathan Turley, his thoughts on how this has all played out, and then I want to get your response on the backside.
It's fairly common for the DOJ to go after low-hanging fruit. The idea is to hit them with an indictment, concentrate their minds, see if they'll flip for the government. It's an indication that they still want or need those eyewitness accounts. As you do superseding indictments and you add parties, it just gets a lot tougher to stick the landing on that trial date.
That's the key, sticking the landing on the trial date. Very interesting comments by Jonathan Turley. Your thoughts?
Kevin, I never thought there was a possibility that this could go to trial before next year's presidential election. What happened today pretty much solidifies that. One, that it's complicated. Two, that it involves a former president, right? So the political stakes are so high. Three, it involves classified information, which if you practice in the national security realm, you know getting classified information introduced into court is a laborious, long, difficult process. It takes a lot of time. Now, with a superseding indictment, with a third defendant who has to get his own counsel and get up to speed, they have just added on the depth and the length of this case. So there's no way it happens before next year's presidential election.
You know, people were saying March, and of course I was thinking, I just don't see how on God's green earth that could happen. You agree. I think Jonathan Turley agrees. I do want to read this from the indictment and just get your take on this in the brief amount of time that we have left. De Oliveira told Trump employee 4 that the boss wanted the server deleted. Trump employee 4 responded that he would not know how to do that and that he did not believe that he would have the right to do that. Trump employee 4 told Oliveira that De Oliveira would have to reach out to another employee who was a supervisor of security for Trump's business organization. You know, there's a saying, obviously, in legal circles, you can indict a ham sandwich. And sometimes I read some of these indictments and I have to tell you, sometimes it's as if they're throwing spaghetti at the refrigerator. But every now and again, you have to say if they had conversations and there was any sort of misdirection on the behalf of someone being interviewed, they have to do something. And in this particular case, it looks like they have them making false statements, or at least that's the allegation.
Well, when you have references to employee number whatever, that's a person that's cooperating. And now, like Jonathan Turley implied, there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure on Nauta and now De Oliveira to flip themselves, because they're going to look at this and say, look, I'm facing years of jail time here. So prosecutors are going to do everything they can to leverage their testimony against Donald Trump. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But again, there's going to be a huge push here. And if anyone thinks this case is going away, they just doubled down today. So believe me, they're taking it seriously.
Taking it seriously, and it's probably going to drag on well beyond November of 2024. We'll have to see together. Joe, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
For sure, Kevin.